talking to a manager, just stay calm about it, because I believe if you go in calm and you talk calmly, it'll just be a lot better for you. It'll be better for the next time that you go. Don't let it upset you to where you don't want a coupon anymore. Hey friends, welcome back. So if you can tell by the title, this video is how do I deal with negative cashiers or cashiers with an attitude. I got a request. Someone asked me if I would do a video on how I deal with negative cashiers or cashiers that just don't like couponers, you know, just like mean cashiers that check you out. And you know what my answer is to that? I deal with negative cashiers the same way I deal with negative people. I just don't. If you guys can tell by my channel, my personality, I am just a happy person. I'm just a happy-go-lucky person. And like I said, you know, it's almost going to be 5 years now. My life changed. You know, situations happen, and when you have something happen, you look at things differently in life. And when that happened in my life, I looked at life totally different, and I just can't waste my time or my energy on negativity. It just does not happen for me. And if you see the way that me and my husband are in videos, you know, that is how we are 24/7. So I do not let a negative cashier have control over me. Never. Now, of course, I'm human. I have feelings. We all do. But at the same time, I don't know if sometimes do I really have feelings? I don't know. But of course I do, you know, but I'm not a person to sit on the phone and call corporate and complain. That's not me. A lot of people probably do that, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but it's just not me. I don't have that kind of time on my hands. I don't even like calling AT&T to complain about my cell phone service, which I'm always having to do, and staying on the phone with them annoys me. I just feel like there's so many other things that I could be doing in the time that I'm wasting to do something else. And I'm a person that I need to go straight to the source. I don't want the middleman. So if I'm having an issue with the cashier and the cashier is not going to want to take my coupon, there's only so much that I can say to the cashier to where we're not going to get anywhere. So I just, you know what, I understand. No, it's okay. No problem. I'll come back another day. That is pretty much how I deal with it. Now, I have been kicked out of a store before. I did absolutely nothing wrong. I got kicked out of Family Dollar. If you've been with my channel for a long time, this happened last year. I was kicked out of Family Dollar for wanting to use a manufacturer coupon along with the store coupon. And the cashier happened to be the cashier was not a manager. The cashier, I think, was asking a manager. I can't even remember, but the cashier was like, no, you can't do that. And there was like 5 people in line behind me, and there was another person behind me who was like, you're allowed to do that. And the manager, like, this guy like flipped out for no reason, and I didn't say anything because I'm just not a confrontational person unless it has to do with my kids. When it has to do with my kids, you will see a whole nother side of me. Because I'm a mom, you know. Us moms, we like to protect our babies, and that's just me. But if it's something to do with me and it's a coupon, it's not the end of the world, I'm going to let it go. So I did not say anything, even though there was another lady like kind of like jump into my defense, and she was like, no, you're allowed to do that. And like, I don't know if it was like her attitude and her tone, but the manager decided to kick her out of the store. He called the cops, and I was like, yeah, this is just a little bit crazy. So I left. Since then, I remember that day to the T. I left. I could have went home because I had a negative experience, but I left and I went to CVS right after that, and I had a wonderful experience. So I did not let one thing with one person stop me from what I wanted to do that day, and I went straight to... So I did not let that stop me. I went straight to do what I needed to do for the rest of the day. Now, because of that situation, it was really bad. I did call corporate. I did email. I never got anything. I never I never heard back from them. I did call the district manager of another store to explain to him that I wanted the district manager of this store, because I just felt like that situation was terrible and the manager should have been retrained how to deal with customers. To this day, I've never went back to that store, not because I am afraid to go, but I don't want to give my money nor my time and my positive energy into a store like that or a manager like that, because I feel as a customer, we are spending our money into a store, and I'm not going to help someone make money and have a successful business if they give me horrible service. And that was, I mean, everybody is entitled to a bad day. Be rude to me, I understand that. I can go back the next day and we'll have a great time. But if you want to call the cops because I am wanting to use a coupon that is in your store policy that says I am allowed to do it, and I didn't even do anything. I didn't yell at you. I didn't curse at you. I didn't do anything. Like, I did not do anything. This guy just like flipped out. And so what I took from that is that he's just had a bad experience with couponers. And guess what? I got the horrible end of it. So I just didn't go back to that store anymore. Like I said, to this day, I've never went back. When I called the district manager that I did get in touch with, you know, he was really apologetic, and he was like, if you wanted to come to my store, I'll make sure that you have a pleasant trip, and I'm really sorry that this happened, but I will tell the district manager of this store. I'll get your phone number. And you know, at that point, it's just like, oh, we're going too far. If the guy calls me, he calls me, but I'm not going to call again. And needless to say, I never heard back from that district manager, the one that should have called. But yeah, so it just showed me that he just really did not care about, you know, how his manager was treating customers. So, you know, I let it go. And so when someone is acting like that, if it's a very bad experience like I had, you know, I would just not go to that store anymore. And especially with Family Dollar being such a small store, there's not a Family Dollar on every corner. So with me not going there, I could not shop there. It's not going to really affect the business there from one person. But if a lot of people stop going to that store because they were treated so badly, it's going to affect the business at that store. Whereas you have a CVS, you have a Walmart, you have them on pretty much every corner. So you can always just go to another store. And there's probably several people that don't go to certain stores because they don't like the cashiers. And I don't understand it. Is like, everybody has a job. So if you have a job, you choose to work at this job because you need money to support your family or to pay your bills. I don't understand why you go in with a negative attitude. Like, when I wake up every day to go to work, I don't wake up like, oh, I hate my job. Like, I like my job. That's why I stay at my job. I like my job. I like what I do. And, you know, if someone works in a job like that, I just don't think that they should work in a job like that, you know? And if you are in a situation and the cashier doesn't want to accept your coupon, the bad thing about it is at the end of the day, they don't have to take your coupon. But another thing about it is that I don't think that cashiers are properly trained on coupons. I believe that they are trained on how to work the registers. They are trained on how to deal with customers, store policies and things like that. But I don't ever see anyone properly trained on reading a coupon. And that is something that kind of bothers me. Because as couponers, we know the policy majority of the time, but you will go into a store and a cashier will tell you that I can only take one coupon. Well, why can you only take one coupon? Because they read the first part that says limit one coupon per purchase. And one coupon per purchase simply means you can only use one coupon on that item. But if they were to keep reading, they would see that it would say limit 4 identical coupons per transaction. And it's kind of like they don't go that extra mile to read that. And I don't feel like in training when they get hired that they don't know how to properly read a coupon. That is my experience from shopping at certain stores. I mean, I've been to Walmart and the managers told me that they can only take one coupon. And I was like, why? Well, it says it right here. And I was like, that is not the correct part of the coupon that you should be reading. The other part is the identical coupons. And she was like, well, I'm not going to override that. And I was like, you don't even have to override it. All you have to do is scan it. And so then another like big manager came over and I believe he approved it, but it was just like I had to go through 3 people. And it can be frustrating, and I can understand that. It could make you just say, you know what? I'm so done with this. But at the same time, if I'm buying $50 worth of stuff and I'm only going to come out spending $10, it's kind of worth it. If I'm buying $20 worth of stuff and I'm going to save $3, it's not worth it to me. I'm not going to argue with it. And I can understand how people can get frustrated. But I don't allow someone else to have control over me, especially their negativity. And you know that saying, and if you haven't heard it, I don't even know if it has to be a saying, he who angers you controls you. You know, and I kind of live by that. I'm not going to let someone else's anger just upset me so much to where I'm just so mad. Another time, this was recent. This was like a couple of months ago. Not even a couple of months ago. Maybe, I don't know, June. I went to Target. I went to regular checkout, and then I was going to go to I wanted to do 2 transactions, and I was not buying a lot of stuff, but I did not want to break any coupon rules. And now, mind you, as couponers, the rules are that you can only do for a limit of 4 like coupons, yada yada yada. But a lot of us will take our husbands, take our kids, tell them to check out. You know, I don't feel like that is the worst thing to do if you are not clearing the shelves. If there is something that I really, really want and there is 50 of them on the shelf and I want to buy 8 and I don't want to break any coupon rules, then I'm going to tell my husband to go check out for me. And we did this recently at Walmart. And when we were buying shaving gel, I told him to go buy 4 and I will buy 4. We didn't have any problems. But anyways, at Target this day, I checked out and the cashier, she was like, are you going to get that? And I was like, yeah, I'm just going to do another transaction. She was like, you can't get that. And I was like, why? And she was like, you can only use whatever coupons. I don't even remember what it was. And I was like, okay, no problem. So I said, I'll just go to self-checkout. It's not a big deal. No problem. But she treated me as if I was committing a crime, like stealing out of Target, y'all. It was out of control. And so I don't mind someone really doing their job if someone is just really doing something that they should be doing. What I don't like is the pettiness. And so this was a young cashier. So you can't like say that, oh, that's the older cashiers. This was a very young cashier. She turned off her light after she rung me up, and she decided that she like got on the walkie-talkie and she was like, oh, I'm gonna go blah 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 blah. Well, I knew that's what she wasn't gonna go do. She was gonna go tell on me. So I go to self-checkout and I'm bringing up my stuff, and mind you, now I'm either getting 3 or 4. I don't know how many it was. And so and if you've ever seen me in a store, you've never seen me clear shelf ever. That's just not me. So I'm checking out and the girl comes out of a door, I guess their little office, I don't know, and here comes the manager. And she was like, ma'am, are you using coupons? And I was like, yes, hi, how are you? And I'm checking my stuff out while I'm talking to her. And so she was like, we're going to need you to go to a regular lane. And I was like, why? She's like, because you're using coupons. And I was like, I am so sorry. I was like, I am about to be done checking out and I've already scanned 2 of my coupons and I've already put them in that little slot. And she was like, well, for the future, we're going to need you to use coupons through the regular line. And I was like, well, when did that change? Because I just came not too long ago and I used coupons in the self-check. And she was like, well, from now on, we don't like people using, it was just petty. It was just something that shouldn't have been done. And what irritated me the most is, y'all know, when you go to Target during the day, because this was on my lunch break. And so, there's like 3 cashiers that work. So you know the lines are long. The girl turned off her light to go tell on me when she could have been ringing up someone else in line, instead of having the lines just overflowing. And I just felt that you spent that time to go tell on me when I got what I wanted anyways, when you could have been helping other people. Like, I didn't get it. I wasn't upset. Not at all. So then I had to go. I was actually buying Pepsis that day. So I go to my car to put my stuff away, and one of my Pepsis is completely busted, and I have to go back into customer service. And if you're wondering, why are you telling us this story? Because there's a point to this story. That's why I'm telling you. I go back to customer service. When I go back to customer service, the manager who's taught me in self-checkout runs over to customer service. So I know that she probably thought that I was coming to customer service to do another transaction. No, I was at customer service because my drinks were busted and I didn't notice it when I was in line. And so I had Pepsi all over my truck. At this point, I'm a little annoyed, but it's not the customer service person who's checking me out. It's not their fault. So I never take my anger out on someone else. And so I was like, I'm so sorry. And then the manager was just like staring at me. And I was like, okay, I already know why she's here. So anyways, I exchanged my drinks and I was really nice. And I told the lady, thank you. That was helping me. And when I left, I called corporate. And the reason why I called is because I do not like being followed in a store. That is a huge pet peeve to me. I do not like that. And I felt that the manager should not have been following me to customer service. And number two, I did not like the whole, let me turn off my light and go tattletale on this customer who's spending money in this store. That just really bothered me. And so I called and I wanted to tell them that that is not how you treat people who come into your store. And I let them know I'm not a big Target shopper. And I can totally understand why. And I know some people love Target. I mean, I had a wonderful experience at Target this week when I went. But at the same time, that trip that I had that day was unnecessary. And that can be a total turnoff. So anyways, I called corporate, and I was talking to the guy, and he was like, I'm so sorry. And I had never called corporate at Target. I don't think I've ever called corporate anywhere except for the Family Dollar thing. And so the person that I talked to ended up sending me a $10 gift card. And I was like, you really don't have to do that. And he was like, no, we are so sorry. You shouldn't have been treated like that. And so, anyways, when I received the gift card, you know what I did? Took it right back to the same Target. Guess who happened to be working the day that I went? The person who checked me out, who decided to go tell on me. And I went straight to her lane with my coupons because I am a nice person. And if you have ever met me, even if you have not met me, what you see on camera is just how I am. So I am a nice person. So I was like, hey, how are you? When it was time to check out. And she was like, hi, because she remembered me. And I was like, I just wanted to tell you thank you. And she was like, why? She already has an attitude, but I don't understand why. And I was like, I wanted to tell you thank you because Target sent me this $10 gift card for the way that you treated me the last time that I was here. So I really wanted to come back and spend this $10 back at Target. And I said, I hope the next time that I come that we can have a pleasant transaction, because I wanted her to know that I'm really not a nasty person. I just wanted to do my deals, get in the store and get out of the store. And it's not fair for people to be treated like that. I bet she never thought when I walked out of that store that day that I was going to call corporate. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. You got to watch how you treat people because you never know who you're talking to. Ever. You never ever know. And so when I tell you that her bottom lip dropped, it was so shocking. And I don't think I went back and I've seen her, but I have been back in that Target. But I will go back to her line and we can have a pleasant conversation. We could be the nicest friends ever. I'm sure she is a wonderful person outside of work. I'm sure if I didn't know her from that day that I probably seen her, we could have been the best of friends. But the way she treated me that day, like what she did, it was just unnecessary. I mean, that's what I don't like. I just wanted to buy something and leave. And then the way the manager treated it was just unnecessary. And so in that instance, I did call corporate, and I think it changed the attitude of that cashier because the second encounter we had was a lot better than the first one. And so a lot of times when we have cashiers that are just nasty, we tend to want to go head to head. This is the cashier and this is us. And when you do that, you're not going to get anywhere. And what I feel will happen somebody is going to pull out a cell phone and start recording something, and that is just not what I need in my life. I just do not like that. But you turn on the computers now, you turn on YouTube, you turn on the internet, whatever it is, and what do you see? Even in the news, someone pulls out a cell phone and everything is recorded. And I just feel like if you have to go that extra step to be extra nice to a cashier so that you can get in and out of the store, I feel that we should do that. And a big reason I feel that is because I feel that a lot of people just have a lot of pride. And if a lot of people just, even the cashiers, like if they just took that extra step to be nice to customers, vice versa, I just think that transactions would go a lot smoother. With Michael, I never knew Michael from any other cashier ever. The very first time I met Michael, I went in and I asked Michael from CVS if he could tell me the price of a perfume gift set. It was during the holidays and it happened to be on clearance, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was so excited. And that was the very first time that I met him. And then over the months, we just became really good friends. He'd always see me in there. And I'm very lucky to have Michael at CVS, all of the cashiers at CVS. But trust me, there are times that I run into cashiers that I am just like, oh Lord, not today. Not today. And I'm just like this. I seriously just have to like, okay, well, thank you so much. Yeah. I have to leave because I get frustrated too, but I don't let it upset me to where I want to be mean to someone. I don't want to be mean to someone. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I'm not that person. I'm a very sarcastic person, but in a nice way. So if you tell me something that's ugly, I'm going to tell you something smart, but if you tell me something that's very mean, I'm not going to be like mean to you. I'm gonna say it really nice, but it may be a little sarcasm behind it. But that's just how I am. I just don't like to be mean to people. I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I just don't want to do that. And like I said, every cashier is entitled to a bad day. We all are. We all have bad days. But I do feel like that is their job, and the best way possibly I could say to handle it is, I never want someone to lose their job. I could give you stories after stories after stories. I don't want someone to lose their job. I want someone to be retrained on their job. That's the best thing that I can do. And if someone is just being so nasty, ask to talk to the manager in a nice way. Because if you're being negative, or if you're cursing, or if you're yelling, and especially if you have your kids with you, you don't want to do that with your kids around. You just have to think your tone, and when you're talking to somebody, and the tone that you are giving is going to be what you are going to get in return. So that is a big part of how we have to collect ourselves when we are talking to people, because if you go off to a manager and you pop off with an attitude, I promise you they are not going to want to help you. And I just feel that I take that extra step just to be nice so that I can just get in and get out. And then the next time I go, I hope that I can have a pleasant trip, even if it's with the same cashier that did not want to check me out. Maybe the next time I go, it'll be a different trip. We'll have conversation. It'll be nice. And, I can use my coupons and I can get in and out of the store. I do think that calling corporate could help. But at the end of the day, I don't want anybody to lose their job. I don't want them to be in trouble like that. I want them to be retrained so that they can properly help somebody. Because at the end of the day, we all have a family to feed. And the reason why I say that, I will tell you this story. This happened about a month ago. I went to the mall with my son, and my son was accused of stealing. My son was not stealing. My son didn't even have the thought in his head to steal. He had just cashed his paycheck. And if you follow me on Facebook, you already know this story. And I was in Bath and Body Works. I went to the mall with my son, and he went into Dillard's. And when he went into Dillard's, he picked up a shirt. He only wears t-shirts. He only wears polo t-shirts. That's it. He's not going to wear a Fruit of the Loom or a Hanes, he's not going to wear it. The boy makes his own money and he spends his own money. So he went to go buy some shirts. And when he walked in, my son is 17. When he walked into the mall, into Dillard's, he picked up 2 shirts that he was going to buy, and a lady told him, I need to hold those shirts for you. Can I help you? And he was like, no, I'm just going to look at some shirts. And she's like, well, I need to hold those for you. Now, when he first told me the story, the first thing that I could think is that she's probably had, teenagers that have stole before. But just because you have does not mean that my son is a thief. And I can promise you he's not. So, so he was like, okay. So he let her hold the shirts. And then the next thing was that he said he started to look at some shorts. And so he was looking at the shorts, and he said she kept following him, so he felt uncomfortable, so he left. So he put the shorts back and he's leaving. So my son had on a white polo shirt, the same shirts that he was looking at. The shirt he had on had just came out of the dryer. It was wrinkled and it was worn. It was like 4 or 5 months old, if not longer. So next thing I know, my son's in Bath and Body Works, and I was like, you didn't buy anything? He was like, this lady just accused me of stealing, and she said she's calling security. And I was like, oh my God. I told the people at Bath and Body Works, I'll be right back. I had to get out of line because I was like, let me go see what happened to my kid. We get back in the store, and there was a scene to where she caused the scene and was accusing my son of stealing. So when we went back in the store, I saw the lady, and I was like, she rushes over to us, and I said, ma'am, I said, this is my son and I'm his mom. Are you saying that he stole this shirt? And she was like, yes, that's him. And I said, this shirt right here. I pulled his shirt, and I thought somebody was there. I said, this shirt right here. And she was like, yes. I said, you 100% sure? And she was like, yes. And I said, okay. I said, but if you look at all the other shirts that you have here, they're all nice. Looks like they've been ironed. They're brand new shirts. This shirt that he has is worn, but you are 100% sure? And she says, yes. I said, you have cameras, right? I said, I'm going to need you to pull the cameras from every angle of this mall, this store, and then I need you to get the cameras from the mall parking lot, from when we walked in the mall, on another side of the mall, where we entered the building, from when we went to the food court and then came into this store. I'm going to need you to pull those cameras because I need you to clarify and make sure. Then another lady comes over, and she was like, ma'am, I'm so sorry. And I said, excuse me. She was like, it's a misunderstanding. I was like, you are exactly right. It's a misunderstanding. And I said, I cannot believe that this is even a conversation. I said, you have an employee that is accusing my son, who caused the scene, basically chased him out of the store, threatened to call security and the police, and said you got him on camera. And she was like, I'm very sorry, it's a misunderstanding. And by this time, guess what? It's a scene. People are looking at us. Number one, my kid is being accused. And of course, I'm that mama bear that's defending my son, because that's just what we do. And so I told the lady, I said, just like you accused my son in front of everybody, you need to apologize to my son in front of everybody, because what you did was absolutely uncalled for. This instance, I had to call corporate. You know why? Because the situation could have been a lot different. There happened to be a cop in the mall. When I walked back in that store, I was like, oh my gosh. I thought that was but the cop was just shopping. So as a mother, I'm panicked. I'm like, oh my goodness. So anyways, ended up, the whole store manager called me the next day, because I had called to complain because I was not happy about that. And the store manager called me. She reviewed the cameras. She reviewed the tapes. She called me apologizing so bad. She was like, I'm so sorry. We reviewed every camera, every angle we saw from when your son walked in by Bath and Body Works. We saw what he had on. We saw him throughout the entire mall. He never went into a dressing room. He never even looked like he was stealing. And she said, I am so sorry. I've already had a meeting with my associate. She's already been told that she is going to do training again. She never had the authority to accuse your son. They are not allowed to do that unless managers tell them to. There was no managers involved, and I can't apologize to you enough about what happened. Do you understand how that situation could have turned so much different? Now, in this situation, did I want that employee to get fired? No, because you know what? She probably has a family to feed and she made a mistake. So that's what I mean. I don't want people to lose their jobs. I want people to be retrained. So she wasn't someone that deals with people with coupons, but she deals with people. And so guess what? I'm sure she's had teenagers that have stole before. And so guess who caught it? My son, who had just cashed his paycheck, who wanted to go spend his money in that store. And guess what? That store didn't get his business that day. He went to Macy's. And so same thing. When a cashier has a negative attitude like that, they're going to lose business. Everyone's entitled to a bad day. But at the same time, I don't want people to lose their job. I'm going to give them a second chance. And I hope that there's going to be a better experience next time. So the only thing that I can say is, because I'm just not a negative person, I just don't feel like arguing with the cashier is going to get me anywhere. I just want to be able to talk to a manager to explain and say, hey, can you just explain this to me? Or can you at least give me a moment so that I can tell you, you know, I've been couponing for a while. I just want to explain to you the actual coupon policy. You know, the actual coupon. It says that I can use 4 coupons, but this is what it says about limit 1. I can only use 1 coupon per item. And I don't know if your cashier knew that. Maybe they're new, but I just want to be able to get the things that I want to get. I think if you approach it differently and you talk, you know, in a calm demeanor, that things can go a lot smoother. And so that is how I deal with negative cashiers. You know, I just don't react. It's just like with my YouTube channel, you know, if I react on a negative comment or something, I just feel like it's going to start something that we don't need. Like, we can be positive and we can be happy, and I just don't like that. I just like to be happy. I just like to help people save money, and I like to go in the store, and I like for cashiers to see me saving money, because it may encourage them to coupon and want to save money. I don't benefit by them using a coupon when I go in their store, but hey, I can help you by telling you this great deal, and maybe when you get off, you can go do the same deal. There are cashiers who love couponers, but some of them, they just don't. They probably never will. And so on that note, if I can leave you with anything, I just say, try to have a positive attitude about it. You know, understand that they just simply don't know the policy. And if you can do something as far as talking to a manager, just stay calm about it, because I believe if you go in calm and you talk calmly, it'll just be a lot better for you. It'll be better for the next time that you go. Don't let it upset you to where you don't want to coupon anymore. Just, if that was a bad day, try another day. If it's something that it was the last day of a deal or something and you feel like you do need to call corporate, by all means, call corporate. I don't have anything against that. That's just not something that I do every time. I mean, if I called corporate on every time I went to Walmart and the cashier didn't scan my coupon, I'd be on the phone all day. And I think y'all know that, because sometimes Walmart just don't want to scan coupons. But yeah, guys, so that is how I deal with it. I'm just a positive person. I go in with a positive attitude, and if I don't get it, it's not the end of the world to me. I'll go to another store, or I'll just go on another day. Like, you know, I'll just try another cashier another day. And if it's someone that loves couponers and that person happens to be in there the next time I go, I'll walk around the store until I can check out with that person, because I know I'm not going to have any problems. So yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for washing, because I just washed my hair. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and I love you to the moon and back. So thank you guys again. I love you to the moon and back, and I'll see you later. Bye.